watching Fox Local.
Begin with a Fox 10 News alert this morning. A live look from Sky Fox right now over the scene of a first alarm fire call. This is near 19th Avenue and Deer Valley Road.
Oh, we're going to go up to Troy Barrett, who is in Sky Fox this morning, kind of surveying the damage from the sky. And Troy, it looks like as we kind of get into the 7 o'clock hour, we're seeing even more smoke coming out of this building. What are you seeing from your vantage point?
Yeah, absolutely. More smoke, especially coming from the left side of the building. We have firefighters that are inside with hoses, but what they've really been doing here in the last 5 minutes or so is they're using a large piece of equipment, a front loader down here, to kind of go inside and get some of the debris that is burning in there and pull it out so they can get a hose on it sort of out here in the park. You can kind of see that big pile of debris. A lot of it, when they bring it out, is on fire, still smoldering there in the parking lot. But firefighters are working mostly this fire with hoses. No flames showing from the outside of the building, which is great. Nothing coming through the roof. So it's basically just within the debris here in this this recycling center for waste management.
And what about traffic in the area? Because when we took this earlier, it didn't seem to be the situation it is now. So obviously this is quickly progressing. Have you noticed any roads in the area being shut down because of this?
Phoenix police do have what looks like 19th Avenue shut down, north and southbound between Deer Valley Road and the 101, and even north as well, a little bit closer to, say, Happy Valley Road. So a big section of 19th Avenue is shut down. This is a pretty industrial area here, so a lot of folks are having difficulty, I'm sure, getting to work if they work in this area. But again, looks like the Phoenix police, they do have portions of 19th Avenue shut down.
All right, Troy, keep us posted if you see anything different or anything kind of transpires in the time that you're up in the chopper. Let us know and we'll get you back live. We appreciate your live report. All right, sounds good.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you, Troy. We are also tracking another news alert this morning in Phoenix.
Yeah, a deadly shooting taking place near 43rd Avenue and Osborne Road. Phoenix police releasing new details just minutes ago. So we were told that officers responded to a shooting call in that area. That's where they found a man that had been shot. He was taken to the hospital where he later died. Homicide investigators have been on scene this morning and are still there investigating, trying to figure out exactly what led up to the shooting. No suspect information has yet been released. Of course, we'll keep you updated on this story as well. And turning now to another big story developing in the southeast. Mandatory evacuations are ordered across several zones in Florida as Hurricane Milton starts to barrel towards the Tampa Bay region.
And Florida Governor Ron DeSantis now speaking just moments ago, reminding residents that time is running out.
So make the decisions now and execute your plan to be able to protect yourself and your family. No matter what property damage is done, we can rebuild homes, we can rebuild businesses, we can get people back on their feet, but only if they're safe and they survive the storm. We're not going to be able to bring people back who stay behind in 10 or 15 feet of storm surge. So you have time today. Time is running out, but you do have time today to make the decision to heed any evacuation orders and to do what you need to do to protect yourself and your family. So please take heed and do it now.
And check on your family and friends. We have friends there, and just seeing them prepare for the storm puts it into perspective. And just before Governor Ron DeSantis spoke, we did learn that Milton has been downgraded to a Category 4. Still, though, a very powerful storm and dangerous, as you heard the governor say. They can't help people caught in 15-foot storm surges. That is just too much of a difficult task. People there are rushing to stock up on food and gas, but some grocery store shelves, as you see here, completely empty. Others are braving long lines of traffic trying to get out of town as Milton barrels towards the state just a little more than a week after Helene. At least 51 Florida counties are under a state of emergency.
Is expected to make landfall on the west coast of Florida sometime between Wednesday evening or perhaps even very early on Thursday. Of course, you can see impacts prior to the eye wall making landfall.
This morning, FEMA continues to face criticism over its response to Helene as questions over their resources are mounting. Hurricane Milton and the aftermath of Hurricane Helene continue having an impact on travel across the country. Sky Harbor Airport's website is showing that 7 Southwest and American Airlines flights between Phoenix and Tampa and Orlando have been canceled today. Tampa International is shutting down commercial operations this morning because of the storm. Orlando International will do the same tomorrow. As always, if you are traveling over the next few days, especially to an area in the southeast, it is always good to check ahead. Of course, our very own Mr. Ty Brennan is tracking Milton as well. He'll be in the weather center with the latest on the storm.
Yeah, let's take a look outside right now, you guys. This is the latest track from Milton. Still a Category 4 storm with sustained winds right now of 145 miles an hour. Now, it is kind of picking up a little bit of steam. Yesterday, we saw it kind of moving very slowly right there on the tip of the Yucatan Peninsula. But it's picking up a little bit of steam as it gets into those open waters near the Gulf. But these are very warm waters, and that's why we're seeing such an extraordinary storm just blowing up in a matter of hours yesterday morning to make it a Category 5, and then this morning back down to a Category 4. But some meteorologists that I am talking to and looking at on X are saying that it does have the potential of gaining speed once again to a Category 5 because it's right now kind of on the cusp. So we'll be watching this throughout the rest of the afternoon. But let's talk about the storm surge because that is obviously what is going to be causing a lot of issues once it does make landfall. And take a look at this map. You can see right there where we do expect Milton to make landfall right there in the Tampa Bay area. From Fort Myers north to Tampa, they could be seeing a storm surge of 10 to 15 feet. So we are talking, two-story buildings could potentially be underwater from this storm surge. This is a massive storm that continues to make its way closer to the west coast of Florida. So we, of course, will continue to monitor this throughout the rest of the day today and then tomorrow, as it is expected to make landfall sometime tomorrow afternoon. All right, Ty, thank you. Well, Battleground Arizona, we are in the spotlight. Early voting starts tomorrow, and since we are a major battleground state in this election, many candidates and their supporters are making visits here this week. Yeah, it's going to start in just a matter of hours today. Second gentleman Doug Emhoff will be in the Valley today. The husband of Vice President Kamala Harris will deliver remarks at a Get Out the Vote campaign rally. He will also take part in a Republicans for Harris organizing event. He'll also attend a campaign reception. And Tim Walz, the Minnesota governor and Democratic vice presidential candidate, will be arriving in the Valley tonight. He's scheduled to come to Phoenix after attending campaign events in Reno today. And while in the Valley, Walz will attend a Veterans and Military Families event in Chandler and then meet tribal leaders on the Gila River Indian community. After that, he is heading to Tucson for a campaign rally. And his counterpart, Republican vice presidential candidate J.D. Vance, will also be in the Valley beginning tomorrow. The Ohio senator will be speaking at a conservative political action conference that's going to take part at the Redeemer Apostolic Church. He will begin right around 3 o'clock. Doors will open at 2. And looking ahead to Friday, Vice President Kamala Harris will be making a stop here in Arizona as well, just weeks after visiting our southern border in Douglas. Exact details about Harris's visit have not yet been released. We expect to have those later this week, and we'll update you when they are announced. And just this morning, Fox 10 has learned that First Lady Jill Biden will make her way to Arizona. She'll arrive in Yuma on Friday for an event there before making her way to Phoenix for a pair of events on Saturday. Details on those events are not yet available. Meantime, Donald Trump Jr., who was supposed to be in the Valley tomorrow to campaign for his father, has canceled his trip, citing Hurricane Milton. He says that he is staying back to be with his family. And a reminder that happening tomorrow night, U.S. Senate candidates for Arizona Republican Kari Lake and Democrat Ruben Gallego will face off in their only debate ahead of the election. Developing, 2 men are facing several burglary charges this morning for a highly organized scheme here in the Valley. Yeah, according to court documents, the 2 men, Yosavani Perez Martinez and Alexi Torres Alvarez, robbed 9 different Family Dollar stores and a KFC restaurant. Police say they waited for the stores to be empty before cutting the power, prying open the back door, and then disabling the alarms. They also covered their tracks by using masks, gloves, and even using bleach. They used a special tool to open safes as well. Their crime spree started back in February but ended last month. That's after a Family Dollar employee noticed that their Chevy Impala was parked in front of the store. Phoenix police were able to connect the vehicle to one of the other burglaries. Their next court date is going to be on Thursday. We have new details on yesterday morning's deadly bus crash that happened at the Valley Transit Center.
We now know the name of the man who was killed. Phoenix police say George Miletus was struck and killed by a shuttle bus. This was right near 79th Avenue and Van Buren Street. Witnesses say that two employees were inspecting the vehicle when it turned on and it hit the 59-year-old, then collided with another bus. Officers say that how he died exactly is still under investigation. Two other people were hurt as well and hospitalized with serious injuries.
The death of an elderly woman found in a burning cabin in western Arizona is now under investigation. The Navajo County Sheriff's Office says the fire was reported early yesterday morning at the Pinetop Country Club. 79-year-old Linda Mason was unable to get out of the cabin and died at the scene. Her husband, 86-year-old William Mason, suffered smoke inhalation. Deputies are trying to figure out the cause of the fire and the woman's death.
A memorial service for a Phoenix firefighter and paramedic who died last month is taking place tomorrow. Adam Catherine's memorial service will be held at Christ Church of the Valley in Peoria near 67th Avenue and Happy Valley Road. It'll begin at 10 a.m. Phoenix Fire says that he died off duty from a health emergency. He was a husband, a father, and he served with the department for 18 years. Well, good news for travelers here in Arizona.
Yes, some new funding will help make some big improvements to several Arizona airports. The 2024 Airport Improvement Grants Program will be giving more than $75 million infrastructure grants to airports in our state. That includes Tucson Airport getting the biggest portion of those funds, about $55 million. The Phoenix Mesa Gateway Airport will be getting about $17.9 million, and Laughlin Bullhead International Airport will get nearly $3 million. The grants will be used to fix up the airports through projects like rehabilitating runway pavement, building new facilities, and even adding some new taxiways. Arizona Senators Mark Kelly and Kirsten Sinema pushed for the funding from the bipartisan infrastructure law.
Panera Bread reaches its first settlement relating to its charged lemonade. It was with the family of UPenn student Sarah Katz. She died hours after drinking that beverage due to complications with her heart condition. That condition meant that she couldn't have energy drinks, but the lemonade contained 390 milligrams of caffeine. So for context, a 12-ounce can of Red Bull contains about 111 milligrams of caffeine. So, I mean, almost triple here. Her family claims that she did not see any signs indicating that the lemonade had a high caffeine content. There are 3 other pending accidental death lawsuits related to the drink.